Hi, I'm Gary Dranow, and welcome to the Gary Dranow Song Lab. Episode 1. This is the beginning, folks. Who really owns AI-generated music? That is the prominent question right now, and it's even in the court system. Platforms like Suno and Mureka are in lawsuits with music production companies as to who owns the rights to the music ultimately. Before you upload that AI-generated song to Spotify, there's something you should know. Even if you created the music, you may not actually control it. And if you ever try to license it for a TV commercial or television show, film, or streaming show, you could run into a serious problem. Let's take a look at what Suno and Mureka's terms of service actually say, because it may change how you release your music. Before you start using AI tools like Suno or Mureka or Udio to create music, there's something you should understand. Even if you generate the song, you may not fully control it. And if you ever want to sell that music or release it commercially or license it for film, television, commercials, or streaming shows, there are legal issues most creators aren't talking about. So today, we're going to take a look at something important. Who actually owns AI-generated music? Before we dive into the legal side of AI music, let me give you a little context about who I am and why I care so much about this topic. Music has been a part of my life since I was about 12 years old when I started playing in bands and writing songs. It's been the creative thread running through my entire life, but my path here has been anything but typical. Over the years, I've also been an entrepreneur and an athlete, and those experiences shaped how I approach creativity and problem solving. As an entrepreneur, I founded and sold 4 companies between the age of 18 and my late 40s. Sports were also a major part of my life over the years, as I competed at a very high level or professional level in several different sports, including equestrian competition, motocross racing, tennis tournaments, bicycle racing, ski racing, and ski race coaching, and even before that, ski instruction. But through all of these different careers and sports, music was always there. Today, I continue writing and releasing new music regularly. My most recent album, The Masked Facade, was released in late 2025, and since then I've been releasing 1 or even 2 songs a week, every week, for the last 2 years or so. I also own a music production company with a team of music professionals who, under my direction, help produce new music every week. Recently, I've also begun exploring AI tools in music creation, including Suno, Mureka, and Udio, Ace Studio, ChatGPT. They're fascinating tools that can generate incredible ideas. But I believe something very strongly. AI can generate music, but the soul is still yours. And that's what this channel is about, exploring where classic songwriting meets modern AI tools, what works, what doesn't, and what musicians should understand before jumping into this new world of AI and music production. Very few people are talking about the legal realities of AI music platforms. So I asked my entertainment attorney, Ryan Kerala, to review the terms of service for Suno and Mureka. And here's what the musicians should know. Who owns AI music is the question. Both platforms say you can own the music that you generate, but there's an important condition. Suno, you must be subscribed to the Pro or Premier paid tier when you create the song. And if you're using their free tier, you do not own the music. Your use is limited to personal use, internal use, non-commercial use, and you must attribute Suno in your video or song. Mureka works similarly. You only own the output if you purchase gold credits or you are subscribed to a paid tier. If you're using the free tier, you do not own the music. Now here's the part that many musicians don't realize, and this is actually the part that surprised me when my attorney reviewed these agreements. Even if you are on the correct paid tier when you create the song, there's another issue. When you use these platforms, you grant them very broad rights to your output. Suno license says when you use Suno, you grant them a license to use your music for providing the service, improving their AI models, marketing and promotion, monetization related to their platform. Mureka's language is even broader. They can use your output by any means, in any format, for any purpose, including commercial use. What that means, in simple terms, is you can use your music commercially, but they can potentially use it commercially too. And what sync licensing is when you sell your music for commercials, film, TV shows, streaming shows, and the like. Many of those deals require exclusive rights, but because you've already granted non-exclusive rights to Suno or Mureka, you may not be able to promise exclusivity. Originality is another issue that's important. Both companies state they cannot guarantee uniqueness. Their AI may generate something similar for another user, and many licensing agreements require that you guarantee originality, which becomes difficult with AI-generated material. And let me just say this. In my contract with music supervisors, I make sure that exclusivity and originality is not in the contract, and just that I'm granting them exclusive use for a period of time for the particular song. So that's an important thing for you to have in your contracts with music supervisors. But sometimes you just can't get around it. Sometimes they require exclusivity and or originality. And when you're using AI in any part of your music production process, your originality and exclusivity can leak out in other forms. So that's just something to be aware of. There's also a broader question. Is AI-generated music even copyrightable? Is still up in the air and is still evolving. There are still lawsuits in the courts with Suno and I believe Mureka addressing that exact topic. So copyrightable is still evolving. Suno states they cannot guarantee copyright protection will vest in the output. Mureka makes a similar statement. So legally speaking, the law is still catching up to the technology. And until these lawsuits run through the court systems and are resolved, the language in Suno, Mureka's, and other platforms' terms and agreements are broad and wide. So you need to read the terms and agreements to know exactly what you're dealing with, at what level, and at what level you're producing your music. And I will have ideas for you on how you can use AI in your workflow and pretty much eliminate these problems. And I think I've accomplished that in my music production. 3 times history has repeated itself with technology. When new technology appears, people often assume it will eliminate existing professions. But history shows something more interesting usually happens. Let me give you 3 examples. The Apple Watch, or smartwatches. When the Apple Watch came out in 2015, many people believed it would be the end of the watch industry or the mechanical watch industry. And to some degree, it has affected the market in the lower priced mechanical watch range. And I am super into watches. I usually wear a mechanical watch. Mechanical watches that were $300 and below were squeezed. But something surprising happened at the higher end. Luxury mechanical watches, brands like Rolex and similar manufacturers, actually saw growth from around 2017 still to today. And many people who bought Apple Watches and got used to wearing something on their wrist. Then some of them started wondering, I wonder what it would be like to own a really nice watch. And many Apple Watch buyers eventually purchased luxury watches. Even the ultra-luxury watch market, like Richard Mille, watches priced at $100,000 and well above, experienced growth. Technology didn't kill the watch industry, it just reshaped the market. Radiology and AI is another topic. Radiologists are doctors who read medical imaging like X-rays. When AI became extremely good at analyzing X-rays, many people believed radiologists would lose their jobs, but AI couldn't fully replace human judgment. Radiologists still interpret subtle medical details, combine information, and create treatment plans. AI can assist, but it couldn't replace medical decision making. As a result, radiology jobs have actually continued to grow rather than disappear. AI became a tool that assists doctors, not a replacement. Smartphone cameras, like I have on my iPhone 14 Pro, got really, really good some years back. And people thought that the smartphone camera was going to eliminate the professional photographer. So when smartphones started shipping with excellent cameras, many people believed professional photographers would disappear. And they were somewhat right, because the low end of the photography market did get squeezed by the excellent cameras on smartphones. But as my wife, who is a professional photographer, tells me, even with a smartphone, you have to understand light and composition, and the 8 inches behind the image is what really matters. If you understand this, you can take great pictures with a smartphone, but for the professional photographer, the DSLR camera and the fantastic lenses that are available today just simply cannot be replaced by cell phone or smartphone cameras. So professional photographers understand lighting, composition, and emotional storytelling, actually saw growth in their business from about 2017 to present day, because anyone can take a picture, but not everyone can create an image that tells a story or evokes emotion. Again, technology didn't eliminate the professional photographer, but it raised the bar on what a professional photographer must be, or what you must be to be a professional photographer, and choose the equipment that you use. And this brings us to something very important about AI and music. What technology often does is squeeze the middle of the market. At the low end, more people can create and experiment with AI tools and allow hobbyists and beginners to make music more easily than ever before. At the high end, the very best creators, the people with strong musical instincts, storytelling ability, and production skills will likely become even more valuable in today's market than they were even 10 years ago. The creators who are producing average or formulaic material may find themselves competing with AI-generated music. A good example of that is jingle houses. Jingle houses were, I'm saying were because they're almost eliminated, were or are companies that, let's say Coca-Cola would go to and say, I need this style of music to go behind, or in my commercial, behind the ad itself. And the jingle house would send it out to the writers would create versions, separate versions, and they would funnel it back to the point person of the company that would then submit versions to Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola says, I like this one, and they would buy that one and have exclusive rights to it from the jingle house. Well, AI music has pretty much eliminated that part of the market, because Coca-Cola can now use Suno or Udio and create music themselves and not have to pay $10,000, $20,000 for an exclusive license for music. But they run into the same problems that us music makers do, that if they use AI what they create might pop up somewhere else as the platforms are using the music for their own purposes. Just like watches radiology and photography, AI probably won't eliminate music creation, but it will reshape the market. Now I'm going to talk about the difference between Suno and Mureka. I have spent the last month or so diving deep into what I can do with Suno and Mureka, and to some extent Udio. And from my experience with both platforms that we're going to cover today, is they each have different strengths. Suno's strengths are stronger song structure, bigger choruses, more polished production. And another advantage of Suno is it's developed a very active community, not unlike Facebook and Instagram, where Suno users can publish songs publicly, follow other creators, and interact with each other's music. Some songs on Suno receive significant listening activity within the platform. That activity can translate into real listeners outside the platform, including Spotify playlists and YouTube channels. Suno also has trending discovery system that surfaces songs gaining engagement. When a song starts gaining traction, the algorithm can begin showing it to more users. This can create kind of a viral loop inside the Suno ecosystem. Its weaknesses are its song generation can feel formulaic, lyrics often generic, and this is my personal note, I do not use any AI tool for writing my lyrics. All my lyrics, prose and poems, I write with pen and in a notebook. I use it when I create the song, and then I upload it to like disco.co, which is the platform I use to share my music with music supervisors, the people I deal directly with when I am selling my music for TV, films, commercials, and streaming shows. So I send them playlists I create in Disco that pertain exactly to their brief. And what a brief is the document they receive from a television production company or a film production company asking for a certain type of music or music with a certain feel, even genre. Mureka's strengths is that it's more experimental in the sounds it creates with less predictable music results, and its weaknesses are that its output is less polished production, weaker song structure. Another major difference is its community size. Mureka's community is fractions the size of Suno's, and there really isn't much of an active discovery ecosystem yet. So creators using Mureka generally do not receive the same organic exposure. At this stage, its community and its listener networks are pretty much non-existent. My workflow in AI. Here I'm going to cover how I use AI in my music creation. Aside from my actual music production process, I will now generate musical ideas with Suno or Mureka, possibly refine concepts within ChatGPT, experiment with vocals in Ace Studio, rewrite the songs using traditional songwriting, and then I produce and finalize the track with my production team, because at the end of the day, AI can generate music, but humans create meaning. If you're interested in songwriting, music production, AI music tools, and the real truth behind them, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Gary Dranow Song Lab. So if you got value out of this video, gently tap the subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. In the comment section, tell me all about your musical experience. Have you released any AI generated music yet? And if so, what platform did you use? Tell me anything you want me to cover regarding AI and music, regarding just AI or just music, really anything that you want me to cover, tell me in the comment section below. Also, check the description below this video where there will be important resources, links, and information that may or may not have been covered in the video. So make sure you check out the description section. And remember, AI can generate music, but the soul is still yours.